What's going on? What's going on? Tonight I'm just gonna go over a myriad of prospects. When I created War Room reports, other than interviewing other evaluators, I really wanted to just, embody the process of, you know, how it really goes down in war rooms, right? From what I've seen is a pretty organic process. Scouts put in an incredible amount of work throughout the year gathering information, watching tape, and then they come to what I would say the round table, and then everybody gives their opinion on prospects. It's a very organic process. I know we all like to make it and doll it up and make it seem like something that it's not, but I'm not trying to discredit the amount of work that's put in with scouts. But when it comes down to just telling and sharing your opinion on prospects, is not the glitz and the glam that's often used to show it. So this, I wanted to be real organic. Tonight, I'm going to be going over every position, um, prospects to know. I'll try to make it as watchable as possible. I know for the people that really care, they're going to be tuned in. They're going to love it. Obviously, I'm going through every position, so it may be lengthy. Hopefully, I can keep it under half an hour. If I get to really rolling, maybe 15 minutes. But without further ado, let's get this thing going. I'm going to give a lot of information, a lot of detail that a lot of people might not share. I think right now we're in a draft media um, space where everybody's trying to make someone be either the greatest thing since sliced bread or they're horrible. So we're going to try to weed out the guys that do that and really just put together some great eval on this video here. So starting off, let's start off with QB1, Trevor Lawrence, Clemson. Some of the notes that I have on him, and I'll keep it very organic. I said he is a consistent. He has consistent ball placement. He's an exhibitionist thrower, operates system well, athletic, linear runner, can drive throws and drives with touch, smart and competitive. Obviously, we think he's going to be the first quarterback taken in 2021 draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by all accounts, why not, right? People are calling him a generational talent. I see him more of a as a guy that what I just said, um, ball placement, consistent thrower, exhibitionist thrower. And what I mean by that is, if this guy was in a trick shot um, uh, category or trick shot contest, he'd win it. This guy can make any throw. This guy's been throwing for years. This is what he does. Some of the things that I don't like about him is wiry frame. He needs to protect himself better as a runner, still working through escape plan versus complex defensive schemes, not a natural improv talent. And what I mean by that is um, guys like Joe Burrow last year, Justin Herbert, their ability during second reactionary plays, they were able to make plays down the field accurately. They naturally had that backyard football feel for them. Now, although I do believe, and this is not to be misconstrued with Trevor Lawrence's ability to make throws improv. He can make throws improv. The problem is he doesn't have a natural feel for it. So when things break down and he's looking down the field, it's very unnatural for him to do that. That will cause problems for him because not everything's going to be under center or in the pocket. A lot of plays are made in this league, outside of structure. So with that being said, he's a quarterback that will obviously probably shine when healthy. But another thing that I have to say is protecting himself. When Trevor Lawrence runs, he takes some of the most egregious hits that I've ever seen for a quarterback, and he's been able to, at the collegiate level, survive those hits. But I'm not so sure that's going to happen when you get, further along in your career in the league. So he has to learn how to protect himself. And overall, I see a really good quarterback. There's no need to nitpick too much, but he is not an infallible prospect whatsoever. And if I'm Jacksonville Jaguars, and if I have a true plan, and if you really want to acquire more picks, there's a possibility to trade out. The number one pick is always the most valuable. Is always valuable. It's a king's ransom, and who doesn't want Trevor Lawrence? But what people have to understand is a quarterback isn't a savior, and there's some other quarterbacks, especially if you can trade down and still stay in the top 7 or 8, you still can get you a good quarterback. And especially, if you get picks to make your team even better, that has to be a possibility there. I know a lot of people saying the Jacksonville Jaguars can't mess this up, but at the same time, we've seen time and time and again, one player is not going to change a franchise. Several players is going to change a franchise. Do you need a quarterback? I'm not saying that you don't, but there's other ways to skin a cat. There's more than one way. So Justin Fields, good size, modern day skill set coaches want to mold, can make can make second reactionary plays, good arm, deliberate with his delivery. That's a good and a bad thing. Big, strong, athletic, in the spread system, can be similar to the player he was in college. With coaching, can provide upside. I think Justin Fields is a guy that you have to watch a lot of tape on. You have to watch a lot of tape in general, but he's the type of player that big, strong, physical guy. That's becoming more of a norm and a high success rate with the quarterbacks or skill positions in general. Um, just incredibly hard to bring down. Some of the things I don't like about him is has to be the right fit. He's situation dependent, like most players are. Patient, have a patient front office. We'll have to adapt to traditional timing based pro system under center stuff. More consistency overall. It's an issue. Essentially plays 7 on 7 due to the pass pro that he had at Ohio State. So with that being said, I mean, he was a guy that overachieved. I'm not going to say he wasn't challenged enough, but he was a guy that I really think that he can be a good player in the right system. Um, there's just inconsistencies as a passer when it comes down to pace and timing. I'm not going to say he can't process like some of these guys who already go to they go to their default things that they want to say about a quarterback, or he can't process, or they have these stereotypes. He can process relatively well. It's just that he moves slow, and the reason why he moves slowly is because he had a great offensive line at Ohio State. Nothing was rushed for him, so he's very deliberate. Once he speeds up that process, he's going to be a nightmare for a lot of defenses to handle. Zach Wilson, quick notes on him: quick release, good ball placement, good athlete, has the skill set and traits of a new age offense quarterback. Um, Injuries is things that I didn't like necessarily. He had some injuries: shoulder, his hand, his build. He has to protect himself as a runner as well, and in the pocket. Level of comp, body of work, one above average collegiate season. 2020 had 30 plus touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I want to see how he handles adversity as well. Just another player that you're dealing with a player that has all the skills. I mean, I think the biggest things, people are going to hype him up as much as possible, but he has that fire in him. He has that, want to. He's elite. He definitely wants to lead a team down and score a lot of points. He has that drive to do so. One of the things that I don't necessarily like about Zach Wilson is sometimes he gets a little bit too fancy, a little bit too pretty, leaves some players out to dry, throws up some pretty questionable passes. He has to believe in his arm strength, but at the same time, always err on the side of living for another down. Um, Mac Jones, I'm really high on him. I think, I already have a series or a video out on him. I think he's a grade A level ball distributor. I think the movement skills are highly overrated. His mental skills is what's going to set him apart. His ability to consistently throw the football accurately and keep things on schedule is going to be an above average skill set at the next level. Trey Lance is a guy that I feel like has all the physical traits, even the off the field things that you like for a prospect. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to struggle with getting used to complex defensive scheme, and then his accuracy decreases the further he throws it. And by that I mean ball placement. Um, you know, you see him in shorts throwing at the pro day, and he makes these amazing throws down the field. But you got to factor in pressure. You got to factor in people trying to knock his head off. And quite frankly, when he throws the football further than 20 plus yards, it hasn't been that accurate. So these are the things that is going to be a problem with Trey Lance. But I really do see. Um, excuse me, I really do see a player that has all the baseline traits because he has the size, he has the arm. It's just that he needs more reps. And if he fully matures, he looks like a very elite quarterback. I already done stated it. I already said he could be the best quarterback. He has the potential to be the best quarterback of this draft if he goes to the right situation. And to me, that's too situation dependent. So therefore, it's all just too dependent, in my opinion. So let's move to the running backs real quickly. Someone that I'm very high on is Colin Hill. I think he'll be one of the better later round guys. Day three, day two guys. Explosive lowers will probably have highest vertical at combine. I think he was close. And I took these notes earlier in the year. Good contact balance, good hands, sustained long speed, and he's physical. Runs with attitude, and he's super competitive. And then the negatives, probably foot speed, um, you know, vision, and elite level explosiveness. Vision can be improved upon. Foot speed, once the vision is improved upon, foot speed will follow along. And I don't really have that many weaknesses for him other than those things. He's not like super well known or explosive as the other guys, and that's literally the difference. Guys like Trey Sermon, um, impressive start and stop ability, seems to run effortlessly, breaks tackles, wins one on ones. That means in the open field, he's going to beat a safety, he's going to beat a linebacker. Um, Moves the piles, he has excellent vision. Um, Good and bad, less wear and tear, right? That's a good and bad thing. Not He doesn't have the experience, but he also hasn't been worn down, but not much production. Uh, you can see the traits, but it's a small sample size. Body is long, leaves room for shots, twist ups. Have to do a deep character check. And then we got to think about, he went to Ohio State. I think it took injury for him to even start. So what was the problem there? Why couldn't you get on the field? And, we can do our own homework for the guys that don't have all the intel. Excuse me. A lot of the times when that's a problem, is when a player possibly had some past pro issues or was disciplinary. So I'm leaning more towards probably past pro issues, maybe some technicalities in the playbook, but more so past pro. That's something to look out for. Um, this is somebody that I've been, so, some people been telling me about him is Elijah Mitchell. Supposedly he's supposed to be a sleeper, so we're gonna check in on that and make sure. But here's my notes on him. Had him as a straight line rusher, good thick build, lowers, eats up between the tackle yards, smooth transition runner, and okay hands. Um, Something I didn't like about him was level of comp, not enough wiggle. Pass pro needs testing. I like him a little better as a natural field runner, but ceiling not as high. So all that means is he is who he is. He's not going to improve too much. He's going to be that straight line rusher with a good build. He can bang some yardage out between the tackles, and he's smooth with good hands. Michael Carter, extremely light on his feet, natural hands, sets up blocks and defenders with excellent lateral quickness, footwork, lacks power, but toughness allows him to wiggle from would-be tacklers versus same size or small opposition. Between the tackle running is questionable, willing and pass pro, but not as engaged or proficient. Gets tackled moving laterally. Sideline easy on the sideline easily. One on one. Not to say he can't evade it. Doesn't finish runs as good as he can. So just some running backs there, reading off some notes. It's already 15 minutes, guys. We might have to revise this plan and reconvene. And obviously, I this has been a long day for me, but I knew that I needed to do it before I fell asleep. So we did quarterbacks, a little bit of the running backs. Let's reconvene with wide receivers a little later in the process. I knew I said I was going to do a lot more, but I underestimated the time frame that it was going to take. I don't want these videos to be too long. I know that deters people from actually clicking on it and watching it the full duration. And I'm doing this like it's 1:15 a.m. So, really grinding late. I'm probably like not even 1% of the energy of who I am, but I wanted to do that and keep that promise with myself and got that knocked out. So we will continue with other prospects later, but hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you on the next one.